Hello Identity 5 gamers, today we're going to be reviewing the tournament match that I just was in. So for those who don't know, I have been participating in the Identity 5 Premier Tournament, which is an NAEU like off-season non-official tournament. And I've been on Team RIPtide along with Santee Devil as our hunter, which has been pretty fun. And we played last week and we did okay. I didn't really get to do that much, so I didn't really bother making a video on it. But I think the sets today were really interesting, so I'll kind of walk you through the entire set today that we played. All right, so here it is. Of course, we are on Team RIPtide. Get it, RIPtide, as in like rest in peace, Tide Turner. That's why there's a little Tide thing right there. And then we're up against ECL. Now, ECL was very scary. We didn't really know much about their survivors, but we did know that their hunter preferred to play witch. They are one of the best witches on the server. I think Blue Cow. Yeah, they're one of the best witches on the server, but they also play Goatman, Clerk, and Sangria. So for these survivor comps, I was the one who chose them. I wanted to try to balance out, because we were expecting, we're trying to pretty much, it was really hard, honestly. The witch did come out here, but we were trying to select characters. I'm gonna pause this here before it goes on too further. We were trying to prepare for 4 different characters: Witch, Clerk, Sangria, Goatman. We're highly prioritizing the Witch. Now, I think the Priestess was a bit of a mistake pick here. I don't think we should have gone Priestess. But we didn't want to go hard into the Witch counter comp, because we wanted to get the Witch round 1 to get it over with, and then we could ban it later, because we wanted to, you know, just have that, and then we could ban the Goatman, because the Goatman's also just really, really strong. So we focused more on banning, or on prioritizing Goatman here. The Finn pick was specifically for the Witch as well, because we wanted like a distance character, so we can't counter everything. They of course spam Embalmer, Auntie, Novelist, and Psychologist, which really hurt because all of those are my characters that I play on the team, so I was getting very heavily countered against this. So we did know that they don't like Puppet, so we did lock in Puppet as well. Puppet was very important for round 1 here. But of course, Blue Cow did pick their Dream Witch, and shoutouts to the creators of this tournament. You can go watch it, link down in the description. Their graphics look absolutely amazing. So as for the spawns here, this was, again, we kind of just ran through it really quickly because we didn't have a lot of time to prepare. We knew that Finn was going to go 4th and Puppet was going to go 1st. If it was Goatman, I would have gone 4th. But we didn't really know where to put the Priestess or the Grave. We couldn't really decide. So we decided with the standard Rescuer at Bridge and then Priestess and 2-story here. So, and as for builds, I also decided on the builds. We have Tide Knee-Jerk Priestess, Tide Knee-Jerk Puppet, Tide Borrowed Grave, and then I believe it's Borrowed Flywheel on the Finn. I forgot exactly. But since I've been watching tournaments, I've kind of just been deciding the builds for the team, which is a little tricky because I feel like a lot of what my knowledge of the game is for like official tournaments as opposed to NAEU tournaments, which I don't know if it translates super well. But yeah, there's the builds. Actually, yeah, it was Tide Borrowed on the Grave, Tide Knee-Jerk on myself and Shad, and then Mimi has Flywheel. Big shout outs to Mim and Mimi as well. They have been improving so much lately. They actually have been improving so much. I'm really proud of them. But yeah, Blue Cow, their Dream Witch is insane. We fought their Dream Witch rank before, not this team, but I think when I was playing with Santee, Hikaru, and I want to say maybe Schmitty. But we were going against this Dream Witch before, and this Dream Witch is very good. We knew the Dream Witch was the highest priority pick, but we didn't think they would pick it here because it's Moonlit. We actually chose Moonlit because we know that Moonlit is not one of Dream Witch's best maps. And we thought about picking Leo's, but Santee did not want to pick Leo's as well. So we tried to balance it out to find a map that Santee's comfortable with, since in round 1 you want to prioritize your hunter. So we decided on Moonlit because it's, you know, hunter-sided map. It'll help Santee out a lot with the map pick. So you won't have to do with Leo's, because Santee does not like Leo's. He does not like Leo's, even though it would have been really good for the survivors. In round 1, you always want to prioritize your hunter. In this hunter-sided meta, you always want to prioritize your hunter. Wow, the quality of this is definitely something. Let's make sure it's 1080p here. Okay, so surprisingly, they chased the Priestess first, which I say surprisingly, but it actually isn't super surprising because Priestess is rather weak. But we were kind of hoping it would be a Goatman and we could use her as a rescuer, because I see that played a lot in tournament. That's why we went Tide Knee-Jerk. But I don't really know about Shad's Kai here. I know Shad said that she messed up a couple of times here, so we'll have to see. She does walk right into the leech here. Does she drop this pal? Oh my, Shad! Oh, I haven't seen these matches yet, by the way. Oh my gosh, Shad! Oh, that's tough. That's tough. Okay. I can't believe she risked that terror shock. That's insane. I know Sad said that she risked a terror shock in one of the matches, and I was like, oh, that must be pretty scary. Oh my goodness, it was. Okay, and mistimes the bite. Okay, that's tough. That's tough. That's tough. Okay. Yeah, I know Shad was pretty nervous going into this since this is technically her first match of the tournament since last week she couldn't play. But this was fine. So next up, I'm trying to come in here to rescue because I also have Tide. Issue is I get patrollered, and the big issue here, I tell Mim, which is Shen King Chu. I don't know how to pronounce their in-game name. I'm so sorry. I just call them Mim. I tell them to come in like the second I see the patroller because as a puppeteer with Lewis comboed with patroller near a chair, Lewis only lasts 4 seconds. The patroller bite lasts a long time. It's like what, 2 seconds or something? I'm not gonna be able to get the rescue. I know that. Like if I get the rescue, it's gonna be insanely hard because I've been patrollered here. So right when I see this patroller, I say, Mim, you gotta come in. I literally cannot get this. I know that I cannot get this. So the second, yes, they start moving in immediately because there's literally nothing I can do here. And I think I do time the bite properly here I do time the bite properly, so I didn't have to worry about the leech catching up here. So Mim comes on in here and is gonna get leashed. Unfortunately, like this is already a losing game. The only way to come back from this would be like an insane sort of rebound. So I'm getting pressured by one of the leeches, and Mim needs to go for like some crazy rescue here, which they do get. Let's see. I want to see this rescue. They don't get it before half, obviously, because it was like a late call out from my end, and the patroller was kind of tough. Good patience there. That was really, really good patience. And they try to go for a double down, doesn't get it. I think Shad kites a little bit longer here, which is really impressive, honestly. With like 3 different followers in this one area, Shad actually kites like a lot longer than I thought that she would be able to. So huge props to Shad for like the rebound that you could, the only possible rebound that you could do. Yeah, it does go down there. Forces the leech it as well. And I think this is where I wanted to de-leech Mim here. Unfortunately, they swap to Blink and they get Mim down with their leech. And I can't heal because I'm Puppet, so I know I can't heal in time. So I'm like, okay, you're gonna have to heal with Finn, or you're just gonna have to die because there's literally nothing that I can do. Shad, as a priestess, I'm pretty sure picks herself up in time. Yeah, Shad is, because your priestess pick herself up so freaking fast. Issue is that Blink is up again. So we have to do with another blink. And I think Shad gets blinked right here, I want to say. Let's see. Blink here. Yep, there's the blink. Okay. So Shad can't really do much. Mim is trying to struggle, but cannot do anything here. And I think this is where I mess up really badly. Because I'm a Tide puppeteer, right? I'm a Tide puppeteer. So I know that I'm going to get chased, but I do make a foolish mistake here. So right here, I actually did ask, I think I said, Mimi, you need to go decode tent. So I'm not really sure why they're over here. But when I came in here, I knew I wanted to Lewis before I hit the ground, but I thought that the leech wood is too far away from the chair, so I made a misplay right there. I get the rescue. I should have used Lewis. I should have just used Lewis. But I got greedy. I didn't think the leech was far enough. Here, I just know that because I watched this Hunter, I know that they play aggressive. So I think at some point they walk through the pallet, and I just like say, yeah, they're gonna walk through the pallet here. Okay, that was actually a mistake, but I did want to like stay there. I don't know how to explain it. I didn't mean to slow vault, but right there, what I meant to do is I wanted to wait there because I thought she would swap to her other follower. So I literally just got lucky there. I'll admit, I got 100% lucky there. I didn't want to slow vault, but I did want to wait because I thought she would swap to the other follower, and I thought I could run backwards. I'm such an idiot though, because I didn't realize Tide ended. Because what I'm doing right now is I'm like focused on all these leech mine games. I completely forgot that my Lewis came back here. So I see that my own leech is right here. I know I'm like getting cut off here by like 2 different things, and I go down. So I should have used my Lewis. I 100% should have used my Lewis, but I was so focused on all the different mind games happening with all the different followers. And that was it. So that's basically it. They can't rescue me. The rest of the game is not super interesting since a lot of it is just like Dream Witch slug gameplay. Like there's nothing they can do. They're both at half. Like I think yeah, Mimi goes down, and then eventually they catch up to Mim, and there's not really anything that they can do. Like they do okay. Like they last for a while, but unfortunately, like the Dream Witch just yeah, just keeps blinking, and there's just nothing that they can do. So, I mean, they performed as well as they could during the end game, but against like a Dream Witch of 2 people, it's just way too hard. There's just nothing that you can do. So, a lot of mistakes from the whole team there, but the Dream Witch played really well, so we can't really be too upset about it. I didn't even know she went for the blink trick there. That's kind of funny. So at this point, we were okay, because we're like, okay, the Dream Witch is gone. We know that's their best hunter. Now, unfortunately, we just need Santi to 4K. Poor Santi was really stressed today since his account got blocked. He can't really log into his account right now. But poor Santi had to 4K while already being stressed, so I'm really feeling bad for Santi here today. Okay, so round 1, second half here. ECL goes Officer, Prisoner, Aeroplanist, and Acrobat. I did walk Santi through the bans here. I said ban Embalmer because Embalmer is like super good. Mechanic, we also wanted to ban because those are like super strong. I think Santi said he wanted to go Wheel, so he did ban Finn. Because he wanted to go, yep, there it is, Breaking Wheel. He wanted to go his wheel, which he was confident. I was actually surprised that he decided to go Wheel. I don't know why, but he just really wanted to go Wheel here. Because I thought Santi was going Wax. I really did. And I think that's all I really had to do. I did advise him to be very patient when it came to these characters, because a lot of them could bring full kite because they only need one out. And then when he was in the match, he was not patient at all, but the Acro also just didn't flywheel, so it kind of worked out for him. Okay, so for some reason they're not showing the builds. I don't know why. I guess they maybe selected a little bit too late. But I want to see Santi's match, because I only saw the first half of it because the stream was mostly delayed. So I kind of want to see. Santi is also playing on Sam's account, who is our backup hunter for RIPtide. Now let's see here. Yeah, okay, this was so weird. I did not know why Santi chased the officer here first. I think what his goal was to just force out a watch and then leave. But he didn't force out the watch. So at this point, I was just confused. I was like, why is he chasing the rest here? I knew Santi was going to get a wheel form here because every time Santi starts getting kited a little bit too long, he starts to as wheel, I guess. He always comes out of wheel form. So he realizes, okay, I'm not going to be able to force out a watch in the officer. Let's go for the Acrobat here instead. This was pretty good because he didn't have to deal with Acrobat in 2-story, which would have been really annoying for the wheel. So while he's chasing the officer, it does force the Acrobat out into a pretty bad area, which I think that was part of Santi's plan, which was really smart. Now, right here, oh man, I'm so salty about this because this is the definition of Santi luck. Like, this is not the best early game for Santi. It's okay, but it's not the best. So Acro firebombs, it could have been a better firebomb, but then he slow vaults. Now, I don't know, if we look at that again, I don't know if he would have made that vault. But there was a much better chance if he didn't slow vault. I don't know if Acro made the vault. Maybe he had muscle memory to help him. I don't know if he would have, but there would have been a much better chance if he didn't slow vault. And that slow vault just really helped out Santi because it was a Terror Shock and he gets tons of extra presence. So that was a really good comeback here from Santi, because now the ciphers here are very mediocre. I have to say, I think the biggest thing that I noticed versus ECL when I was watching Santi's matches was their cipher wish was rather slow. Not to say ours was like really much better, but I noticed like that was like the weakness of their team. Because their team was like pretty decent overall. They had like good plans, good routes, good everything, but their cipher rush was like really slow in like every single match, which was like pretty much the only thing I could really see that they lacked. And then, okay, Santi, I don't know what that was. I honestly don't know what that was. When it was so funny, I was in the VC with the rest of the team, and the second I saw Santi blink that, I instantly said, why can't he do that versus me? Because every time Santi blinks me, it always hits. He never messes up. But the second Santi's got to go up against somebody else, he misses his blink. Like, bro, it's only versus me he doesn't mess up? It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. And in a tourney setting. Oh my gosh, it's fine though, because like look at the ciphers. Look at they're really bad. These are very bad. Like, for having a person on their rebound already, rescuer injured, these ciphers are extremely slow. Like they should have. I'm surprised. By the way, I'm surprised here. Acro had 2 chances to flywheel and didn't flywheel. This is what I told Santi. I said, be patient with your coming out of wheel form and snaps, because they will likely have like flywheels or full kites. Especially because like we thought that there'd be a lot of broken more because they thought he'd play like Ann or Wax. But I said like, oh, there's gonna be a couple flywheel characters, be prepared. And then lo and behold, Santi just they just they just don't flywheel him. And then unfortunately, before full presence is ready, 4 seconds before the acrobat flywheels, which really sucks because it's really hard to keep track of full presence timer for wheel. And he kind of wastes the flywheel there. There was literally no reason to flywheel there, which is actually really beneficial for Santi. I'm surprised that trap missed. When I first saw the game, I was so surprised the trap missed, but it looks like Santi overshot it there just a little bit here. I don't know why Acrobat dropped that pallet. I really don't. But now that the snap has been, or now the flywheel has been used, Santi can now just snap and finish off. So the ciphers are actually, again, they're pretty slow here. Ideally, when a first person dies, like for like standard hunter pace, it's usually like around 400% is done. But they're still significantly behind. There's still a good injury on the officer, and Santi is at full presence and has all the momentum right now. Gets out of wheel form instantly here because he knows he can just snap down the officer no matter what happens here. And I think this is at this point where I haven't seen the rest of this match, so let's see. He picks up the officer. They have no more tide centers. They use up both tides. And Aeroplanist is going to come in next. I think, will Santi go into wheel form here? He definitely will. Extended spikes onto the Aeroplanist. He knows the Aeroplanist has tide. He doesn't know if he has flywheel or not just yet. He gets out. There's the full presence. And beautiful. That was actually really clean. The officer wastes a watch and he gets the Aeroplanist down. So he can just chair the Aeroplanist and then go straight for that officer or the prisoner, but likely the officer here. Because he knows the ciphers aren't ready. He knows they haven't started the final cipher. That's one of the good things about Santi is he's got like, since he's so experienced, his intuition, like even if he's not fully paying attention to the ciphers, see now he's looking, he knows, okay, there's the last cipher. He knows that they've started the last cipher. Because he can only take a quick glance and just kind of know instantly. So he disconnects that. Does he swap? You know what? He swaps teleport here, right? No, he doesn't. Okay. I was about to say, there's no way this guy Santi's about to swap the teleport wheel, bro. And obviously, since we got 4K'd, he needs to try to 4K here, so I don't think he's going to chair. I'm actually surprised that he chairs here. I cannot lie. I'm actually surprised that he chairs. I think the biggest reason why he chaired there was because Officer's long chair time plus... okay. This prisoner is very impatient. Okay. Yeah, that was just very impatient from the prisoner. That's fine. But obviously you had long chair of Officer to work with, so I think it would be fine. And even then, if Officer picked himself up, he could go rescue the Aeroplanist, which would have been a pain for Santi. Either way, though, he played that very well. I'm very proud of Santi. He played very, very well in all his matches today. Definitely carried us in this set. Okay, so moving on to round 2. Santi's the hunter up here once again. This is round 2, first half. The survivors pick Embalmer, Lawyer, Knight, and Mage. We were kind of expecting, when the second we saw the Lawyer, we kind of expected them to play well into Santi's Wax, because we know they know that Santi's best hunters are Wax and Ann. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows those are his best 2 hunters. So this felt like a Wax counter comp. Because, you know, Embalmer, Cypher Rush, Lawyer rotation, Knight can get a rescue, and then Mage is obviously just such a good kiter right now, and he can block off windows, or he can block off places that Wax would have to hit, because the Mage can go back and forth, and the wand will body block the Wax, so Wax will have to hit him, which means he gets a speed boost, and Wax does not like speed, especially in a tight kite area. And it's lakeside as well, so Santi was thinking about playing Peeper Wax here until he saw the comp. And I think he decided on Ann here instead because he realized, okay, Ann just does super well into this comp outside of Knight. And they banned his Gamekeeper as well. Santi's Gamekeeper is very good. If I had to rate Santi's Hunters in terms of how strong they are, I would say his Wax is his best, his Ann is his second best. I think I would put Gamekeeper as his 5th best hunter. I would say Santi's top 5 hunters, in my personal opinion, are number 1 is Wax, number 2 is Ann, number 3 is Ripper, number 4 is his Axe Boy, and then number 5 is his Gamekeeper. And then his Geisha is very good, his BQ is quite good. It could be a little better, but his BQ is fine. He plays a lot of hunters, but I would say those are his top 5 in my personal opinion. Santi would probably Probably can give a more accurate list though, but he does go Ann here, of course. And the biggest thing is the mage can be a little tricky because the wand can eat the cat. But it made sense to pick here because the lawyer was to counter the Ann or the lawyer was here to counter the wax, so he goes Ann and can now easily find the lawyer. Now for some reason it didn't actually show us the spawns. I think they skipped the spawns on the ready up thing. I don't know why. But let's see here. So it was Mage is out small boat, lawyer is Shack, knight is big rock, and embalmer is big boat. Okay. So if you ask me, I almost agree with this, but I don't think lawyer should have been Shack. I think lawyer should be small boat here, if you ask me. I think lawyer's better in small boat against Ann versus mage. But this lawyer does very well. This lawyer is full kite. And I think I saw up to the point where the lawyer died, and then I wasn't able to watch the rest of this match. Because again, it was like very far behind, so we kind of had to prep our own stuff. And at this point, right now, since we already, like for me at least, what I'm doing right now in this match, ooh, that's unfortunate for Santi. What I'm doing right now in this match though, is I am terrified of Clerk. Because we know that Blue Cow, the hunter that we have to fight, has Opera and Clerk left for their things. Because we're gonna ban the Goatman, they don't have the Witch anymore. I am sitting there absolutely terrified of Clerk. Santi goes for an extremely aggressive warp, but unfortunately doesn't make it. Because lawyer can just risk TSs like it's nothing. And then I think right here, Santi should have just swung. I don't know why he didn't swing. I'm pretty sure that would have hit through the window. And so the kite lasts like a little bit longer. I don't know why he did that. I'm not sure. Maybe Santi thinks that the hit wouldn't have hit. I'm pretty sure it would have. But again, in the moment, obviously things are different. And maybe Santi can like just say, oh, that wouldn't have hit. So pretty standard. Like when I first saw this, I was like, okay, Santi can still do well. When I saw this right now, I knew Santi already had a guaranteed 3K. Because the thing is, as long as Santi has his trait endgame, he is such a huge threat. The biggest thing that Santi is able to do is being able to work with his trait endgame every match that looks like a draw, and he's almost able to win it every time. Now the knight does a really good play here. He predicts the cats and the swing, and then uses Tide without having to use his sword. But at the same time takes damage in the process, so it's a bit of a 50-50 because the knight still has his sword rescue and is able to basically do 2 full rescues, but he is full damage, which means he cannot come in that easily. And the lawyer dies away from Cyphers, which is really, really solid. Now again, the Cypher Rush is better from the team this time. I still feel like it's slightly slow for how good the lawyer's kite was, but for the most part, it should be fine. Now, I haven't seen anything past this point, so I'm a little curious to see how this is going to go. He's going to Chariot Shack here. And the next rescue is going to be this Embalmer here. Now, Embalmer's kind of hard to rescue with, because it doesn't really have anything to work with. Let's see. Yeah, this is just a knee-jerk borrowed Embalmer as well. So there's the cat. He goes for a big jump. Are they selling? This looks like oh wait, mage came out of nowhere. Oh my gosh. Wait, I did not see where that mage came from. Oh my. I guess he came from small boat and Santi didn't realize. Okay. I mean, it was a double rescue though, because the only reason the mage was able to get that rescue was because the Embalmer was constantly distracting Santi. So it's a bit of a trade-off because they get the rescue, but unfortunately, it was at the cost of a lot of decoding because only one person was decoding and it was the knight. So they're only decoding it at a rate of 80% that entire time, which means the ciphers were pretty slow. They do heal up the knight. Santi gets stuck on his own cross, unfortunately, there. And I again, at this point right now, I know what the result is. But what I'm thinking right here, I think I got a little greedy there, by the way, with that prediction. I think he realized Santi, he didn't expect Santi to adapt. I think that's the biggest thing. But I was like, I'm looking at this, and I'm like, okay, right now, like, again, this is still a situation where they can't finish ciphers in time before Santi will have his trait ready. Literally, if Santi has his trait ready in endgame, the chance of him 3K'ing is extremely high. It is extremely high. He wanted to try to get a double hit there. Unfortunately, didn't get it. It would have been really good if he got that, but I think he still puts an end to the Magician pretty soon. Doing a really good job pressuring the Cypher. Really, really good here. Left the Magician, though, because Magician obviously is running in a direction where nothing really matters. Trying to look for the Knight right now. Sees the Knight. Jumps back over here. And I guess he's kind of baiting the Mage back in. Does he see the Mage? He does not. So right now he's going to go for the Knight, the Embalmer. I'm not really sure what he's doing here. Okay. Yeah, because they're kind of just hiding. Again, this team is playing very, very passively, which is kind of what you want to do here because the Embalmer can safely finish Big Boat. Never mind. Okay, he's not going to safely finish Big Boat. I don't know why he didn't finish Big Boat. No, wait, what? Why did they not finish the... Why did the Embalmer... Wait, what? Okay, he's coming in... Wait, dude... Wait a minute. Okay, no, it's okay. It wouldn't have mattered. Yeah, that right there is why Anna's so good versus Mage. So good versus Mage. I think if the Embalmer finished the Cypher, they actually had a chance to draw, or at least get one out. That hits? Yo, Santi, what? You wanna talk about that, buddy? How did that hit? I can't believe that. Okay. It looks like Embalmer will try to finish up this Cypher here. Yep. And boop. Oh, what the heck? Oh, he wants to prevent the rescue. Okay. I don't think he can. Wait, no, he does. He does here. Yeah, he does. Boom. Down goes the Embalmer. He'll be forced to use his Coffin here. Drop him down so he can't use Coffin, or he'll use him as a weapon. No, he can't use Coffin now. Cats, and that's it. GG. Oh, yep. Mage not very good versus Anne. Mage is so good in this meta, but versus Anne, definitely not the best. Okay. So he'll jump back toward the Embalmer here. He'll drop again. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, just change Chair Magician first, and then warp onto the Embalmer. And that's it. Because, like, Embalmer can't Coffin if he's the last person chaired. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Oh, he's gonna do the drop down trick. Yeah. Oh, wait, he self-healed? What? Okay. And if he uses his Coffin, Santi will just warp. And... the TP. Okay, either one works. Yeah, warping up there is kind of hard, actually. It's kind of tricky. And there's nothing Embalmer can do here. There's literally nothing he can do here. Bubble. There it goes. Okay. That is it. So that is the 4K for Santi. He played very, very well. A couple mistakes he made by the Survivor side, but for the most part, both sides played very well, and Santi was just able to get the 4K. So again, you know, Santi is just insane, bro. Santi's just insanely talented, so good stuff to Santi. Okay, now moving on to round 2. Now, this one is going to be a long explanation. So we knew that this was going to be Sangria or Clerk. We were 100% certain of that. Unfortunately, they banned almost every character we wanted to go. I think the team comp that we wanted to go Cheerleader, Weeping Clown, Antiquarian, and Coordinator. That was our planned comp. So they banned 2 of our characters, and then my backup was Novelist, and then they banned my Novelist, bro. They kept banning my characters. I was so mad. Oh my goodness, I kept wanting to go Anti and Novelist, but they kept banning them. So we decided Cheerleader would be fine because we wanted the support for the Clerk, because we were hard expecting Clerk and Sangria. We were more confident taking the Sangria than we were the Clerk. We knew that we could do fine versus Sangria, but the Clerk was what we were scared of. So we wanted to do a couple supports. Unfortunately, we only got one. And then I believe Mim and Mimi wanted to pick their comfort picks here since the comp kind of fell apart, the idea kind of fell apart of what we wanted to do. We decided to pick comfort picks. Shad still went with Cheerleader. And then I decided, okay, well, Santi got a 4K. If I play Embalmer, Embalmer is one of the best characters for getting draws, but also better for guaranteeing one out. So I'm just like, okay, I'll be real with you guys, I was about to click Melee. I cannot lie, I was like, I really, really want to play Melee here. However, with the threat of Sangria, I was like, I'm not gonna do Melee. As much as I want to go Melee, I'm gonna go Embalmer because I know it'll be better in a tournament setting. But I was really close. I was hovering over Melee, and I was so close, dude. I was so close to picking Melee. But if I was a little bit better at Melee, I think I might have. But I'm still not confident that my Entomologist is tourney ready. I need a lot more practice because I do think Melee has potential, but she needs to be like played extremely, extremely well. So. Blue Cow does end up picking Opera, which for me, this is a sigh of relief. I was so happy because I was like, thank goodness it's not a freaking Clerk. Like, you guys know I always meme about how bad Clerk is in tourney and whatnot, but I'm so inexperienced when it comes to Clerk. Now here, this was a really hard game because I think at this point I was taking the position of the call out person. Like I was making a lot of the call outs here because I knew I wasn't gonna get chased. Unfortunately, we don't have an official IGL, which is in-game leader. It's mostly been me and Shad kind of swapping between the roles depending on whoever takes kite. But Shad tends to take first kite a lot, so it ended up being me a lot. However, in this game, I was very confused since we had a lot of miscommunication in this game, but I think it still ended out pretty decent. So for the builds, we wanted to make sure that we had 2 borrowed. I decided on 2 borrowed times. I thought 2 borrowed times was so important here, not 3. I think my team was saying 3. I decided let's go 2 because I know we only need 1 out, but we want to be a little extra safe because we still need somebody to potentially save in the end game, and we are highly expecting Shad to take kite here because we put Mimi in small boat. I think because small boat is it's like the hardest area for Opera to get to chase in. It's so hard for Opera. So Gardner in small boat we figured with broken borrowed would be really good. I'm full kite on big boat. That's really strong, and Balmer I can just full kite die away from big boat, go back. That's 3 cipher kite right there. Tide borrowed standard mercenary down at Big Rock, and then Shad with full kite as well, because we wanted as much kite possibility with cheerleader here as well. So I was honestly expecting Mimi to get chased here, but they actually went after Shad. Again, I was not expecting that. I really thought it would be Mimi, but they do go after Shad. And I know Shad was not super happy with this kite because I think she did make another few mistakes. I know she was not very happy. Blue Cow, unfortunately, does mess up a dash here, but goes for a TP. And right now, Shad still has a good amount of distance right now. She needs to go to the pallet, I'm assuming. I think she would have made the pallet without needing to speed boost. But it looks like, yeah, Mimi decided to rotate all the way to the corner. Oh my gosh, Shad. Oh my gosh. Oh, that was risky, dude. That was risky. Okay. Yeah, this is a bit of an awkward route from Shad. I cannot lie. Bit of an awkward route. But again, cheerleader isn't the best versus Opera. The reason why the cheerleader pick was here was mainly for the clerk. So the cheerleader was like that's why we put her full kite, because it's like full kite can work really well for the clerk, but for the Sangria specific, I also told Shad exactly when Blink was ready. So that was me. I had flywheel and I was like 10 seconds are up, Blink's ready, and then she flywheeled, so Shad was goated for that. Unfortunately, didn't really have anywhere else to go after that. But I was really happy with my Blink call out because we don't have the timer in tournaments. We have to do it just based off of flywheel. Since I had flywheel, I was the only other person with flywheel. I just said 10 seconds afterward and said that, and then Shad was able to perform accordingly. It's just unfortunate that she had nowhere else to go, but that was a goated flywheel, so good stuff to Shad for that. I did tell Mimi to full on just not take damage here when they said that they were coming after them. Because the thing is, Opera really loves getting free hits and TPing back. We did have a bit of a miscommunication here. We do think that we should have waited a little bit longer for this rescue. But at this point, I was really confused since I was getting a lot of like weird information and I can't see what's going on. Obviously, I'm on the other side of the map. I just finished up shore and I'm going to big boat. So I can't see anything that's happening. All I can do is rely on my teammates' callouts here. And unfortunately, Shad makes a very huge mistake here, which is it's so unfortunate. I think Shad was just very nervous at this point, but I don't blame her because there's a lot of pressure right now. Like we only need 1 out, but that's still a lot of pressure because we just got 4K'd last time. So we're really trying not to make mistakes here. So next up, Mimi has to rescue because they're the closest and they have Garter. They have the highest potential to rescue here. And at this point, I think I told Mimi, delay it as long as possible, as physically long as you can possible, like delay it like as much as you can. And then don't double down. Like do not double down no matter what you do. And I was really proud that they didn't double down, especially thanks to that cheerleader boost. It was the cheerleader speed boost diff. So huge, good stuff to Shad there. Unfortunately, not able to beep away in time. But that was huge from Shad giving Mimi that speed boost, because if Shad did not do that, that was a double down. And Shad would have needed to kite it like way longer. So you look at our Cypher Rush here. It's not bad. It's not the best. Again, in tourney setting, you want to have 400%. We are only 60% behind, which is not great, but it basically means that next kite needs to go very well here. So I'm finishing up big. I know I'm safe because I know teleport's not gonna be ready. So I know I can finish up big boat for free. And we need to finish up, I think mid was the other cipher that we need to finish here. And then I think I start Shack soon after. So right now, Blue Cow is lost, which was really good. This rotation bought us a lot of time. And then they were on our mercenary here, Mim. And Mim, unfortunately, does L-pad a bit into offense, but not the worst L-pad. But at this point, like, this is what they have to do. You just have to delay the down as long as possible. And didn't use the last pad there, which was really smart. And at this point, they should be dying more into the corner. I'm not sure whether they're dying out in the open. They should be dying in the corner here. Okay, I don't know why they died out here. They should have died more toward the corner. So we do heal up Mimi here. So this is where this game started getting really confusing. I started going really quiet, which is kind of bad because I was supposed to be like making a lot of the callouts this game. But I didn't really know what position we were in because I didn't know what the ciphers were. Because there was a lot of like, oh, I messed up. I kept hearing like, oh, I messed up, or oh, I did this, and it was a lot of like information that I couldn't really work with, which is fine. Like this, we were panicking a lot during this game, which was really tough. But I was like, okay, we can still do this because I know there's one cipher with significant progress, and we just need to start one more. And I tell Mimi, you have to get this rescue because I don't have borrowed time. And I'm like, okay, well, she needs help. I have to try to. Okay, there's so much happening here. Okay, so I tell Mimi, you have to get the rescue because again, I don't have borrowed. It's safer if you are at half health because if we do get to a point where we can pop, you have borrowed. I don't. And I don't want to waste my coffin just yet, right? So I want to go work on mid cipher because it's the 73% cipher. I think that's what Shad was saying is like, oh, it's mid, has 73%. However, Mimi was getting very hard cut off here. So I was like, okay, I'll assist and pretend to get the rescue so you can move in a little closer. Blue Cow does a very greedy blink here, and messes it up, which is very fortunate for me, I must say. This is very fortunate. And then I make a huge misplay here because look at this. I can't believe I was so mad that I didn't fly well out, bro. I was so mad. I was like, there's no way, because I knew it was the most obvious swing in the world, and I couldn't fly well it, dude. I did have 73 MS to ping. I don't want to be that guy and say it was ping diff, but I did have 73 MS. And I can tell that this also, unfortunately, Blue Cow, I can tell that they also have mediocre MS, so it's two mediocre MSs going against mediocre MS. I do think, if I'm just judging by how fast their opera moves, I think they have about 90 ping. Could be wrong, but that does seem to be the vibe of what their ping is. But even then, dude, I was so salty. I was like, man, I know I hit that fly well. If I just had better ping, I think I would have hit it. But whatever, I can't say for sure. So at this point, I am just hearing weird callouts, and I don't really know what's happening. So I'm just like, I'm just gonna work on the cipher here. I'm simply gonna work on the cipher. That was really good from him. Like that reaction was super good. A little greedy on the vault, I must say, very, very greedy. But right here, this is really good because Mimi hasn't taken damage, which means they can still go for the rescue. And they're gonna slug out now. They're gonna try to slug out. They do mess up the dash, and I'm going all the way to Shack. So at this point, I think they don't go after Mimi. They eventually start coming for me. I want to say a little bit. Once Shack reaches like 50, I think they start coming for me. So Mimi goes for a beautiful bubble play here. Absolutely beautiful. And look at that. Look at the patience on that window. Unfortunately, okay, I thought they messed up the dash here. Didn't mess up the dash, which is really nice. But Mimi is now cutting in the same area that Shad was, which is not the best, but this is also one of Opera's weakest areas. So at this point, I get the call out, okay, she's leaving. She's likely coming Shack. And I was like, okay, I gotta go, bro. I gotta go. So at this point, I was actually really happy that she started chasing me because this is one of the only hunters I can kite in the game is Opera. And she does get a little, does make a bit of a mistake, which means I can get a lot more distance here, which I can go to Shore. Now, Shore is very, very good versus Opera Singer, in my opinion, because if you are confident in your mind games, you can win. And right here, I was very confident because I knew she had no blink. And all I had to do was use my Opera experience and know when she would vault in. I know I had my pallet vault, so all I have to do is just tight kite, zoom all the way around here. And I knew that the hunter's going to want to get aggressive here, so I vault instantly. And then I knew she was going to still get aggressive, and I went back again. Because I've been playing so much Opera Singer recently, I know exactly what's going through their heads. I know that this hunter, after a certain point, was going to get really aggressive. Because I knew that they were starting to get impatient, and they were going to get frustrated, like, oh my gosh, this guy is buying too much time. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to vault now. Now is the time to vault. Which was really, really nice. I was really happy with my performance there. And then I dropped both pallets here because obviously broken. My fly was ready at the perfect time, so I flywheel here, get the vault, and then right here, I know I'm dead, so I have to basically gamble here, and I have to just kind of do a little bit of funny play. Unfortunately, I don't make that vault! How do I not make that, by the way? I was so mad. I see this swing and I'm like, okay, that's the freest vault of the life. I'm on the other side of the pallet. Like, how? I'm halfway over the pallet and it still TS's me. Oh my goodness. Now right here, I was like, do I coffin here? I played passively because I thought the cipher was way further along. I thought their cipher, because I was like, oh, I just cut it a decent amount of time. Their cipher is surely like 90. It's only 60. So I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do. And I don't want to commit. So I press no on my rebirth. I think I should have rebirthed here. I do. Because if I rebirth here, I rebirth to Shack and I can, you know, book it at 40 and then they just have to live because they both have BT, right? So that I think was my mistake. I think I should have rebirthed there. Once again, Mimi playing absolutely beautifully around this palette. The patience, look at that. Winning so many mind games. Mimi is just performing so well here. And finally does go down. But bought a good amount of time for being teleported on. That was really, really good. And then I had a cheeky plan here. I had a bit of a cheeky plan. So what my plan was I wanted Mim, the mercenary, to go to Shack, try to finish it. Because this is Mimi's first chair, right? We have Mim and Mimi. I know it's a bit confusing. But Gardner has a long chair time. What my plan was I wanted to be a sacrificial pawn because my coffin's at Shack, right? What I wanted to do, I wanted Mim to get Shack all the way to like 80. I would run in, die, and then when I'm dying, then Mim would come in, get the rescue, and I would TP back with my coffin to Shack and finish it. That was my initial plan here. But I don't think it worked out. Let's see. I forget exactly what happened in this match. But that was my initial plan. That was what I wanted to do because I have no BT and I'd be able to pop the cipher with my little bubble thing, even if she came after me. So they shared Gardner mid, and this is when I think Blue Cow makes a bit of a mistake that we kind of capitalize on here. And that is that they get aggressive for the cipher because I don't think they knew what the Shack cipher was at. And at this point, I'm like, can I go for the rescue? Can I go for the rescue? At this point, they said, yeah, they're fully committed onto me. You can get it. And I was like, okay, perfect. I think it was better if they dropped that pallet there. Yeah, it was way better if they dropped that pallet there, I think. The second the mercenary goes down, we knew that they were going to slug. Now, unfortunately, I do think they missed up a dash here. And I think because of this missed dash, we were able to gain so much ground here. It's kind of sad that I have to say that Opera Singer is such a high-level skill hunter that just by missing a dash, it can literally be the difference in a 4K and a draw. But that is literally the reason why here. So because we're double rushing and we have so much time here, she would have been at the cipher by now, and I don't think we've been able to pop unless I force it with my coffin. So I knew the opera's coming in. I eat the hit and I say, hey, Mimi, pop it because you have borrowed, and she can't get me. See how she tries to get me? I say no. I'm gonna instantly use my coffin, and at this point, I'm like split gates. I'm just like yelling split gates, split gates, split gates. She can only pick one because all we need right now is one. Ideally, we get a draw, but all we need is one. Because Santee got us the 4K, thank goodness. If we can get one, we win the round. So that was all we were looking for here. So I'm just like, it doesn't matter, no matter who she commits to, just like pick. So I was hiding out at Shack for there a little bit. And then Mim is here against this Opera. Has a little bit of time being bought here. Good mind games, good mind games. Unfortunately, not able to get that one there. But we knew TP was ready. And there's the TP right there. Nice, it was nice that Mimi did make it. Now, unfortunately here, I was a little bit confused because we didn't really have sights on the Opera and I had no idea where she was. Dungeon is obviously at small boat, so that's what my goal is. I'm like, okay, I want, if possible, for me to take endgame kite against this Opera and get dungeon because I have my flywheel. I'm confident I can make dungeon, or at least I have a good chance of it, right? But at the same time, I know Mim has self heal, so I'm like, okay, here's the plan. You self heal. She's gonna have to commit to you at some point, otherwise you get your gate open, right? Or she has to commit to me. Ideally, she commits to me. So I'm sitting at small boat, but nobody knows where she is. So at this point, this is like, okay, we don't know where she is. And I think I get a call out here from Mim saying, oh, she's coming back to me. And I'm like, okay, perfect. So because of this, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the gate, but she TP'd back. And I think I got this call a little bit late because again, we didn't know where she was. And so I'm already heading to there because I didn't know. And then all of a sudden, like, cause she's going back and forth a lot. We don't know where she is. And I'm like, oh dear, I have heartbeat. I don't know where she is, but she knows where I am. And so I'm stuck here. So my goal is like, okay, I just gotta go for a dungeon at this point. I know she's gonna cut me off from the gate. That much is super obvious. I have to go for a dungeon here. I know she has CP, so I'm trying to be very wary of it. Unfortunately, though, I do get my flywheel baited out. Unfortunately, I was a little salty about that. I probably should have been more patient because I showed that I had flywheel twice in front of this hunter. But with all the nerves going on and how I knew if I made it to the pallet at logs, I had a much better chance of making dungeon. I just went for the flywheel there. I probably should have been more patient, but we did end up getting the draw, which I was pretty happy about, especially after a lot of miscommunication. But, you know, we haven't practiced a ton together as a team. And for what it's worth, I think everybody played pretty well that match, despite all the mistakes. Now, finally, we're here on round 3. So, we know that we have a pretty good advantage here. And our goal, Santi was like, can you guys draw? And I was like, okay, let's try to draw here. So, unfortunately, this was a bit of a weird game. So I get to pick my ante. Now, what I said before this, because I was like, I have no idea what they're going. At this point, they used up their 4 hunters, right? We banned their Goatman and Clerk. They've already played Witch and Sangria. We have no idea what they're gonna play. I'm expecting Anne. I'm like, okay, like this hunter's playstyle makes me think Anne. So I really thought it was gonna be Anne here. And we did not have, unfortunately, our rescuer, Mim, is not super experienced with Wildling, and Officer was banned. So we don't have a Grave, we don't have a Mercenary, and we don't have an Officer, which is really bad. We kind of ate up our rescues earlier, which is somewhat my fault. Actually, mostly my fault, because I've been the one picking the characters. I think I need to be more careful when I pick rescuers if I'm going to continue the picks for this team, because I know what rescues that we need, but I think I'm picking them too early and banning them out. Because losing the top 3 rescues in this game was really bad, so we had to pick Weeping Clown, and unfortunately, Mim has only played Weeping Clown like once. So I do apologize to Mim for forcing you onto Weeping Clown. I knew it would work well in round 3 because Weeping is so good in round 3. But when you're not experienced with Weeping Clown, he can be a bit awkward to play. I asked Shad if she was confident in playing Mechanic here. Shad said no because it's been a little bit while. Let me go Lawyer instead. So I was like, okay, go Lawyer. And then we picked Ada just as like a safe last pick. And then I picked my ante. So my ante is okay, but it's not tourney ready. This was a bit of a risky pick because I wanted a Harasser. That was the only reason why. I wanted a Harasser. My Novelist was banned. They banned my Novelist later. But I wanted a Harasser. It was simple as that. I wanted a Harasser. The only Harasser I can play is Ante. And I didn't think Novelist would do that well because I was like, okay, well, if it's going to be an Anne, I don't want Novelist. And then it was freaking Wax. This guy Wax. I was so mad, dude. I was so mad the second I saw Wax. It's so funny. The entire chat even knew. Like, the entire chat was all like, oh, this Zeez is so upset now. And they were right. The second I saw Wax, I was like, oh, come on, dude. I was so mad. I can't believe I didn't account. I was mad at myself for not accounting for that. I was like, it's ever sleeping. Wax is so good on this map. This hunter likes good chase hunters with map pressure, because that's what they play. Sangria, you know, has decent map pressure with her speed. Clerk has map pressure. Goatman has that with good chase and map pressure, and then Witch as well with map pressure. Chase is a bit here and there, but you know, the map pressure. They like having some sort of map pressure. I can't believe I didn't see the Wax pick. So right here, we assume Shad is getting chased. We are full on assuming that Shad is 100% getting chased, because I'm like, okay, if he chases me, if this Wax chases me, I've practiced against Santi in this area. I know I can 60-second kite minimum. I can get trade out no matter what with Antiquarian. I'm fully confident in that. So I know he's not going to chase me, and if he does, it's a draw. We know they're not going to chase Mimi because Mimi's too far. So we are full on thinking this chat because, okay, you're never going to chase a Weeping Clown because he's too fast, right? Well, fun fact, they do chase our Weeping Clown, which was really sad because I kind of was like, hey, we need Clown here because Clown is so good. We don't have any other rescuers. We don't have the Wildling, which I think we will be practicing Wildling in the future. But the Weeping was my decision here, and I don't regret it, but I do feel bad about kind of pressuring Mim into picking the Weeping Clown despite them not being very experienced. So Mim, if you're watching, I'm so sorry for forcing this onto you. I am very sorry. Now, as for the builds, I think we went pretty standard here. Shad had full kite. I had borrowed flywheel. I think I said Tide knee-jerk Ada because I wanted double Tide because Santi said, can you guys get a draw? And I was like, okay, we need 2 Tide tuners for a draw. Ada's been played a lot as a rescue in tourney recently just because she can force any rescue no matter what. Give us Tide Ada. And then Weeping had Borrowed Time tied as well. So, yeah. It starts and immediately we're like, oh no, they're chasing the Weeping Clown. What do we do? Because the Weeping Clown was supposed to be our rescuer. We had no plan for this. We had a plan for every single person getting chased except for the Weeping Clown, which we were not ready for. So immediately, the poor Weeping Clown that I was like, hey, you should go Weeping Clown. They've never played Weeping before. And yeah. So the correct play was to rocket there way earlier. Unfortunately, though, for somebody who's only played Weeping Clown a single time, you're not gonna know it with like the specific matchup too. So when I see this, I'm like, okay, this is kind of tough. Can you come corner house? Because Basin's graveyard. I'm like, okay, if I can do some level of support, maybe Weeping can get a rocket and he'll switch targets to me because the distance would be too much. Or we can force out the trait, which will be warp, so I know he doesn't have excitement. Because I was really worried about excitement. So right now I'm just like, okay, come corner house here, come corner house. And I'm like, okay, here I come to support. I realize, oh, they can get upstairs in time. It'll be fine. Now, I make a mistake here. I say go to the windows because I thought they would make the windows. They don't. They don't make the window, which I was really surprised about. I really thought they would make the window vault in time. They do miss, and then they get a little bit greedy for the vault and get TS'd here. So, unfortunately, I'm waiting here. I'm like, oh, I can just wait here at this chair, drop the pallet, or harass. However, there are 2 chairs at corner house here. So I was like, okay, I need to go to the other thing because he sees me right now. I need to go to the other chair. And I was like, I wonder if I can beat him here in time. I cannot beat him here in time. Not even close. So I would have needed to be way better positioned, which is really hard with Anti. You know, it's really hard to position Anti, especially against Wax, who can just hit me out here. So again, right here, I'm actually so incredibly annoyed because I don't know what the trait is. So he could have Blink, he could have Warp, he could have Excitement. So right here, I'm like, oh man, he's coming after me. He's forcing an early rescue. I can't vault the window right here because if he blinks me, I get Terror Shocked and that's it. I can't flute him because if he excitements me, it's a free hit and I might not be able to get the rescue in time. So I decide the only thing I can do is flip. That's the only thing I can do. I have to flip. That's the only choice I can do. And I'm like, okay, I have to go for a somewhat early rescue here now because I have so much Wax. If he waxes me before, like if he waxes me too much and I come there right at half, he's just gonna wax and then make me rescue after half. So I need to rescue now. And he just hits me, which I'm super thankful for. My flywheel is ready. I know he wants a double down. And I get enough distance to the point where I know he's gonna use wax on, so I flywheel it. Which I was really happy. Like that was like, okay, according to plan. I was really happy with my my thought process there because I knew exactly what the wax was gonna do. I was just so annoyed that I constantly had to respect the fact that this guy had a trait ready because I didn't know what it was. I was like, it's either Warp, Blink, or Excitement. And I had to respect all 3 of them at all times, which was really frustrating for me because it made me so indecisive on my decision making because I wanted to harass and I was like, I can't do that. He might have Excitement. So they used their final rocket here to try to get distance. Unfortunately, they do end up dying near 2 ciphers, both Shad's and mine. Which is a little unfortunate because this game plan has not gone to plan at all. And then I make a huge throw here. I make a huge throw. I was on this right here. I am actually still so surprised about because I want to see it from my point of view. Look at this. I want to just threaten him. I want to just threaten him here. I can't believe that hits. Look at how far I was. Look, I was so far from him. How did that hit? Let me see. I was like, okay, he's not, because I wanted to play like, you know, chicken with him. I was hoping he would like, oh, I'm going to go back a little bit. Look at how far I am. That still hit. Nightwatch could never, bro. That's all. Nightwatch, that would never hit me. If that's Nightwatch's balloon hitbox, that's never hitting, bro. Why does Wax have a massive balloon hitbox? When I first saw that, I was like, what? Because my goal was just to like scare him, right? I just wanted to buy time. I wasn't even going to harass. I just wanted to scare him. But he didn't care. He just full on did it. No fear, no nothing. But I'm telling you, bro, I'm never doing this again versus Wax because now I know how broken his balloon hitbox is. It's huge, dude. It's massive. Because balloon hitboxes, they're supposed to be really bad, right? They're supposed to be short as heck. Nightwatches, bro, you got to be like on top of them to hit. This Wax, bro, that looked like a regular hitbox. That's what's so crazy. If it was regular hitbox, sure. But balloon hitbox, I was like, there's no way, bro. There is literally no way. And so at this point, I'm like, okay, Shad can only rescue if she uses Flywheel because now he has Hot Wax, which is really unfortunate. So now I get shared here. And then we get into a really unfortunate situation because our ciphers are very bad here. They are very bad. And I did kind of throw the game here. But man, I was so upset that hit me. I still can't believe that it hit me, dude. Because from my POV, he was so far, dude. He was so incredibly far. So at this point, I'm like, okay, the only chance we have of winning is if I do the rebound of the sentry. That's literally the only way. So Mimi has to come in here and get this rescue. They can brute force it because of Psychologist. This is again the reason why I said, let's go Tide knee-jerk Psychologist, because no matter what, you can pretty much brute force any rescue. Because even if he gets the Hot Wax trick, Mimi can eat 2 hits because of Psychologist stress, and I can get rescued here. However, unfortunately, I don't have Companion Effect on this build, so I have nowhere to go. And of course, he's freaking red. I get stuck, and I'm like, okay, there's nothing I can do. If I stun him, I die. If I drop the pallet, I die. So I kind of just was like, all right, I'm just gonna die. Because there's literally nothing I can do there. That chair is so hard to rebound from. And then now he's coming after me. I'm just gonna drop this pallet here. Because I'm like, okay, well, this pallet's not gonna do much versus Wax anyway. Might as well drop it, or buy a few seconds by dropping this pallet, right? Because if you drop that pallet versus Wax, fun fact, you're dead. Because he will, if he has Wax Bomb, you're dead. Because he'll just Wax Bomb the window in the pallet, go around the other side, and you die. Guaranteed. And there's nothing that you can do. So I was like, okay, might as well just drop that pallet anyway. There's no point. And I'm like, okay, the only way is if Shad does some crazy rescue. Because Shad has Flywheel. That's the biggest thing. I'm like, okay, Shad has Flywheel here. If Shad can rescue me, and I can rebound, and he chases me, there is a very small chance. But guess what? Guess what is in my head the entire time? What's his trait? I still don't know what his trait is. I don't know. And at this point, I'm like, huh. I wonder if he has excitement. Because the way he played earlier, he came up to me, no fear, no nothing. And I was like, huh. He probably has excitement. So in my head, I'm like, okay, it's probably excitement, but I don't know for sure. So Shad gets a good rescue here. And they do, she does eat a lot of waxing, which I was just like, oh my gosh, thank goodness. Thank you, Shad, for actually like doing some body block. Goes for a crazy Flywheel there. And they switch targets to Shad here. So our final 2 ciphers, unfortunately, are both right here, Corner House and Dancing Geisha. And there's really nothing that we can do. There's nothing that we can do because Wax can pressure down both ciphers here. And we're both at half. So the only way we can even manage this is if like one of us can pull off a crazy rescue. The only one who has the potential in between both of us is Antiquarian. But guess what? I still don't know his trait, so I have to hide here. I wanted to like loop around here. Can't do that because he might blink me. I don't know what his trait is this entire time. I'm just like, what's his trait? What's his trait? This entire time, all I can think of is what's his trait? What's his trait? What's his trait? I don't know. So I tell Mimi, just keep working on the cipher because maybe he'll be distracted by trying to get it and I can get a quick back door or something. So they do it once and I continue to work on my cipher because what I wanted to do was I wanted to pop my cipher first. And I could have, okay, another thing here. I could have kept tapping. There is a strategy here that you can do. If you tap the cipher while Wax does this, because I know he didn't have Wax on, he just used it on Mimi's cipher. I could have forced it. However, the issue is you can't do that unless you're in a safe position from this Wax. I'm not, because if he starts shooting me instead, I was on tapping, getting greedy for this cipher, he'll just come and kill me. Simple as that. He'll just come and kill me. And he also just has trait still. He still has trait. And, oh man, I was just the fact that I didn't know what trait it was literally making me like, it was making me lose my mind, bro. It was making me lose my mind. So I wait for him to go. I start moving in immediately. The second I see him trying to get this Wax Bomb lineup, I immediately start heading in. Except I get scared because I don't know if it's blink. And then he swaps traits right here. I heard the trait swap right here. And I was like, okay, he's gonna excitement. I know. I was like, okay, I'm coming in. Uh-oh, it could be blink. I need to move backwards. I'm readying my Flywheel. I know it's gonna be something. I think it's gonna be blink. I Flywheel early because I think he's right here. And then he excitements. And I'm able to get the distance. I know I won't be able to make it, so I have to get any more distance, jump, and then look at that scam! Look at that! That's, oh my, I hate Wax, bro. Look. How does he land in the pallet? Bro, he didn't even get stunned. I was so angry, bro. Oh, I hate Wax starters. I don't think he had any tolerance, but this I was like, I'm clearly aiming into the wall, and he gets pushed into the only spot. There's so much wall, but he gets so lucky and lands inside the safe spot. Like, are you kidding? Because I wanted to go for a quick 1-2, because I was like, okay, maybe he gets the rescue if I go 1-2. And then he can't swing for 4 seconds. I can go back to my cipher, or at least if he chases me, I die away from ciphers. We can potentially do something here. But he flies into the freak. I was so mad, dude. I was like, are you kidding me, dude? At least I didn't die to the excitement. Hey, at least I didn't die to the excitement. And then I'm like, okay, well, nothing I can do. No, he didn't miss the bomb. The commentator said they missed the bomb. Did not miss the bomb. So at this point, it's GG's because Shad died. Mimi couldn't get the rescue in time. And at this point, it's all but over. It's all but over here. There's nothing that we can do. The only thing that we could have done here is like an insane play. They wax that Cypher. I get the vault off. And I think I just kind of have to kite for my life here. I really just have to kite for my life. I thought he was going to go in through. Not much I could do there. And I knew that Hot Wax wasn't ready, so I knew I could stick here eventually, which I think I do sometime here. Boom. I hate, oh my gosh. The fact that he kept, oh my, look at this. He's not even doing it on purpose. Like, it's in between, oh my gosh, dude. In between the pallet again, dude. Oh my gosh. Ah, that's so annoying, dude. That's so annoying. So there's obviously nothing I can do. I have to drop the pallet because there's nothing else I can do, and I die. Oh, I was so salty about that, dude. I was so freaking salty about that. Oh my gosh. I was so incredibly salty about like those flute hits, bro. Because he just like slid inside the pallet. It was just perfect. It was just perfect for this Wax, bro. Slid inside the one perfect spot that he could have gone to each time. Every single time. So at this point, I'm just like, okay, let me just practice. Because now I know Wax is coming after here. I was like, hey, if I can get into graveyard, I can kite the Wax. Because I kited Sprinter here a lot, and I know how to kite into this area against Wax. So I know at this point they're gonna get greedy here. I know right here they're gonna walk through the pallet. I know they're planning on it. So they excitement, but they don't get all the way through because they drop in time. And here I'm pretty much guaranteed dead. So all I can do is go for a flywheel play. I know I don't have to flywheel here because I'm only 70. And then it's just a 50-50 here. Yep, he baits out my flywheel because he knows I had it. So once again, now that the Wax saw my flywheel, he just baited it out again, and then we just surrender. So yeah, not much I could really do there. Yeah, that game I'm really salty about, honestly. I'm very salty about that game. For my own performance. I'm specifically very mad at my own performance because I made so many mistakes. And I just just like the anti-flutes hitting into the pallet and not stunning him. Oh man, I was so upset about that, bro. I was so like during the match, I was like, come on, dude, not once, not twice, but 3 times. Oh, it's so annoying. 3 flute hits were basically useless because he just flew inside nothing. But I don't know, bro. My anti just needs more practice. It's so hard versus Wax because it's just constant pressure, constant 50-50s. And if he ever, and I just didn't know his trait. That's the thing. I just never knew his trait. So I was constantly double guessing everything because I just didn't know what his trait was. So that was unfortunate. We got 4K'd. I really didn't want to get 4K'd there. I was actually very disappointed in myself that game. There's not much else to say. I was just really sad about that game. Okay, so next up, this is Santi's last game. So basically what has to happen here is Santi has to draw minimum for us to get overtime. If he 3Ks, we just win. So it's Mercenary, Priestess, Coordinator, Seer, very, very standard comp, very basic standard comp. And Santi decides to pick his Axe Boy, which I was a bit surprised about. Now, unfortunately, Santi was deafened at this time, so I literally couldn't communicate with him at all. I think Santi was just like wanted to lock in, didn't want to hear anything from like any like ban and pick advice from me. He just wanted to lock in and focus. So he banned Mechanic, Acro, Dancer, and Finn, which is fine. That's completely fine. But I honestly felt kind of bad when he deafened because I was like, no, I want to help you, buddy. Let me help you. But I think he just really wanted to lock in because he was really stressed out here. So he played his Axe Boy, which again, I was not expecting at all. I was not expecting him to play Axe Boy. But again, I think the lack of Cypher Rush from Team ECL is really what does them in here because Santi does very well this game, but I feel like their Cypher Rush could have been way better here. I think a lot of it is also the Seer was spectating for a good amount of time onto the Priestess who was taking first kite here. Now let's see here. I'm kind of curious to see how this went because I only saw about like half of this game. I only saw bits and pieces again. I didn't see the full game because I was like doing other things. So Priestess with an instant portal goes from the portal here immediately. I'm actually very aggressive with the portals. I cannot lie. Wait, is this a hit? Ooh. Okay, that was good. She needed to be more patient at that pallet. Okay, that was really good. No fast pallet break on Santi at all. Wow, that's actually a bit surprising. Does have some desperate fight as well, probably for that coordinator, it looks like. Misses the snipe. And then, wait, what the? Wait, why did she walk back into him? Hello? Huh? Wait, why did she walk back? Okay, I didn't see this part. Why did she walk back into Santi? What the heck? Okay, that was weird. So, oh, I think it was because the owl. Wait. Because she was getting spectated, right? Oh, no, she was getting spectated. Okay, let's see. So the spectate starts... Wait, when was it? Seer was spectated at some point. Wait, what? Let me see this. So see, they're getting spectated now. And then he just stopped spectating? Huh? Okay, I don't know. I'm guessing the priestess is like, oh, you don't need to. I'll be fine. That looked like a miscommunication right there. I don't know what that was. That looked like miscommunication right there. So yeah, once again, ciphers are very good for Santi. These are very good. Pretty quick down. That was like what, 40, 50 seconds. Pretty quick down, all things considered. And the ciphers are very slow. These are very, very slow. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, Santi draws minimum. Like he draws minimum. We're going to overtime minimum the second I saw this. Doesn't get the double hit on the mercenary, but that's fine. Priestess goes for a very aggressive instant portal, which is fine. And then I want to say that she gets sniped here. I don't remember though. Let's see. Does she get sniped? She does. Yeah, she does. Okay. And then Santi goes for another hit to get full presence as well. So yeah, this priestess is very aggressive with her movements. I feel like if she had a little bit more patience, maybe she would have been a bit better. But again, Santi is the type of person to force you into making bad decisions. As somebody who's 1v1 Santi many times, he's extremely good at manipulating you into bad areas. So I think the priestess kind of felt the forefront of that right there. He sees the coordinator coming on in here, and then she just shoots. The coordinator was very scared of getting double hit by Santi, which was good. I was like, okay, they're respecting Santi. The second I saw that early flare gun, I was like, okay, they're just hard respecting Santi. And there's the owl. Beautiful owl from the seer, I must say. When I saw that owl, I was like, oh, that was beautiful, actually. Breaks the pallet here, has the road, so it's a little bit faster. Goes to here again. Road actually coming in clutch. Kind of countering the priestess there because it goes to the walls and he goes to the walls too. Does get a fireball dodge, which is really, really nice for her. He drops another tree. He does have one more tree to work with, but... Oh yeah, she went for the window vault. I was surprised. I cannot believe she took that. I was actually very, very surprised. Again, this priestess was very aggressive, like, in her movements. Like, if she had an item or a resource, she's using it, bro. She's just like, I'm gonna use it. If I have a resource, I'm doing it. Yo, could you imagine Santi ran at the tram there? Oh my gosh. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so I think at this point in the game, Santi came back into the call and said, I got a 4K, and I was like, oh, let's go Santi. Like, the entire team celebrated because Santi got the 4K. So Santi 4K'd 3 times, so sorry to spoil, but Santi did get a bit of a 4K here. But again, I assume a lot of you already see, we're kind of, this is more like a breakdown, not like a actual thing. This seer got very greedy, by the way. I think the seer made a huge mistake here by getting greedy for the cipher. I don't know why the seer did that. Seer should have just gone straight to corner house. Yeah, I don't know why. Seer got very good. Again, this team was like very aggressive in their movements. Says he gets a beautiful flame. But I think the biggest thing is that the greed was their undoing. Their greed was their undoing in this match because, I mean, they did need a draw, which is still kind of hard to get against Santi. But against Axeboy specifically, it's not the hardest. But look at this area. It is filled with trees, bro. This entire area is just disgusting. When I saw this part of the match, I was like, bro, what do they do? There's just trees everywhere, dude. There are simply trees everywhere. And I think Santi tries to get a flame hit, doesn't get it. And then he just swings. And he's able to catch up here. It is a before half rescue. But I want to say that this is a double down. Yeah, that was really good. I don't think it... no, I guess I'm misremembering. Okay, I thought it was a double down for some reason. Okay. Maybe it's later. Maybe it's later. I forget. Or I think it was a stuffed rescue. That's something. Okay, so he uses the road and the flame because he knows exactly where the mercenary is. Doubles back, drops a peeper, doubles back because now he's like, okay, if you come around that way, I'll be able to see with my peeper. Grabs a branch real quick and has a good idea where the mercenary is. Gets hit right there. Gets stuck. That's actually so important because Santi's road is perfectly ready. Grabs a fireball and he catches up right. Boom. Look at that. If the mercenary didn't get stuck, I think he made that rescue. But he actually got stuck. That was actually just kind of crazy. And that's it. Because now Santi's like, okay, if I get the 4K, I win. So at this point, it's just like he's just got to play cleanup, slug it out. He gets the coordinator down, I think, eventually. I gets the coordinator down, goes back for the mercenary, chairs the mercenary since his chair time is so long, drops a peeper, and then I think this is just basically the end, because the coordinator would have to kite for like 60 seconds and somehow get dungeon, and he gets a nice fireball to end things off. So yeah, Santi played amazingly. He played so freaking well. Carried the team for sure. Our survivors definitely messed up a lot. But I think for the most part, it was a good set, honestly. It was a good set. Santi he carried. He was crazy. He was absolutely crazy. And I think for me personally, I'm okay with the Opera game, but I was very disappointed in my performance in the Dream Witch and Wax games, which was honestly really sad. I was not really happy about these games for me specifically, but what are you gonna do? I entered this specific tournament to practice, and I learned a lot of lessons. I learned a lot of lessons, specifically Auntie versus Wax, and I learned that my Auntie needs a lot more practice as well before she's tourney ready. So maybe I won't bust out the Auntie next time. I took a bit of a gamble playing the Auntie. But I think the issue is my Auntie needs more harass experience, because my Kite Auntie is okay. My Auntie needs a lot more experience when it comes to harassing, though. A lot more experience, so we'll see. Anyways, that was our matches. I hope you enjoyed watching. It was very fun to play in the tournament. Honestly, I really can't wait for the next one, since we are still in the tournament. I think we're now in top 8, so that should be really fun. But it's only going to get harder from here. It is only going to get harder, and I think there's a very high chance we're up against GSL next. I don't know for sure if we are, but there's a very high chance we'll be facing GSL next, and it's going to be really hard to beat them. Let's just say it's going to be very, very hard to beat GSL. So yeah, that's going to be it. Look forward to that. It'll be a fun match, that's for sure. But either way, that's it for me. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.